Hey everyone, welcome back. Welcome back to another ColdplayXtra Live. Joined here with Bethany and Ian. Bethany, how's it going?
It's going great. How about you?
I'm doing well, doing well. Ian, welcome back. How are you doing?
Thank you. I'm recovering
Okay.
from my Wembley Blues, so there's a lot of people might be tonight joining our stream.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's get into it. This is going to be such an exciting live stream, and always is when we have to do speculation and there are new updates. So we're going to do that. Today's show is all about the 2023 European tour dates that were announced just 2 days ago on Monday, and some additional shows have been announced today as well. And tickets go on sale tomorrow, as you all know, I'm sure. It's a crazy quick turnaround for some European fans and other fans around the world who are planning to go to those shows, especially if you just saw the band in the UK and in Europe. And obviously, if you're in Glasgow right now at the show, it's an even quicker turnaround. But it's a
Do you
day
think
that
people are at the show right now watching us? I don't know about that.
I don't think they are, but
No.
I think they're both excited and simultaneously stressed about what they have to get through tomorrow if they don't have a ticket. Um, it's a quick turnaround, but for a lot of people, it's been a long wait. For some, it's been many, many, many years, maybe 6 years even since they've last seen Coldplay. And currently as we speak, Coldplay are wrapping up their European tour. Obviously, their last show is happening basically right now in Glasgow, Scotland. So we'll bring you any updates if we hear anything special that's happening, like we did with Speed of Sound, for instance, as an example. But let's see. So 2023, the Music of the Spheres World Tour will continue as we had mostly predicted, and I think we'd already known for quite a while. We'll go through each location, the tour date that's been announced, and we'll talk about potential extra dates, even more than the ones that have been announced today, because there's a lot of space in the calendar. So it's been very, strategically announced. That's what we feel. And we know some of you have already secured tickets in the pre-sales, so that's amazing. Congratulations! I know how hard can it be, and what a mess that is. So let us know which shows you're going to in the chat. And if you haven't got tickets yet, don't panic. Pre-sales are not the be end all, and I'm sure there'll be more shows announced. And there's general sale tomorrow, and it all work out. So keep calm. Everything's gonna be good. There's gonna be thousands of tickets, so you will get your chance. Don't worry. And we're going to be sharing some tips on how to secure your tickets when they go on sale tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. And finally, these are only confirmed dates for Europe, but we know that the band is going to go to North America and Southeast Asia. We don't know the exact locations and the dates and all of that yet, but there's no harm in speculating, so that's basically what we're going to do. We know it's going to be announced soon. So hopefully we'll get news on that, and we'll clown a bit. We predict where they might go, and which cities they might go in the US and in Southeast Asia. So as always, continue participating in the chat. Let us know what you think. And with that, let's get into it. Let's get into how we came here. So the first thing that happened, obviously, was the Humankind music video. It's been coming. It was filmed a long time ago. We all kind of knew it existed, but it's out now. So, Ian, I'll start with you. Quick thoughts on just the music video for Humankind.
Well, I really enjoyed the video. I thought, you know, being filmed in the same place where they filmed Head Full of Dreams and having a similar kind of, I don't know, anthemic, bouncy song and vibe to it that, you didn't want to see Head Full of Dreams 2.0, and you didn't get that, which was great. I loved the drones shots, the crazy drone shots flying around. And obviously, we got I think, Stevie and Marcus Haney, they did such a great job with the video. It was worth the wait. I love the shot as well of them, sat on the billboard and then flying under that I thought that was a really, really good shot.
Yeah.
Um, um, no, I actually really, really like the video. So props to those guys. And obviously it gives us the hints for the locations, which we tried to get out there as soon as possible. And we thought there might be more, but it turns out the ones we had were the right ones. So
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely.
yeah, it was
Um,
quite quick. We quickly discovered, which cities they might be going to next
mhm,
year.
mhm.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. I think that's also a testament to us and the band themselves. They I think kind of trust us as super fans of like knowing that we're gonna overanalyze every single thing that they do. So it worked out, and we got a really quick answer on everything. But they also kind of made it obvious with the the looking glass emoji and all that, and the Easter egg emojis that they were using. Um,
Yes.
but
Can I just say something
yes, go for it.
before? So, this is kind of like a Coldplay Extra announcement. Sorry to derail, but someone just did it in the chat. I noticed Noodle Doodle
Hmm.
777. So recently, we've been doing these streams for like a year now, and we got to a point where Twitch actually recognizes us as like valuable streamers to their platform now because of you guys. You guys come and watch us, and it now they've opened this option. We didn't ask for it, but it's been unlocked, where you can now gift us a subscription. So if you enjoy our content, whether that's on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, or our shows we do on Twitch, you can now subscribe to our Twitch channel. And what that'll do is it'll help support us for doing more shows like this and producing more content. So, if you've ever enjoyed anything we do, this is a nice way to like give something back to us. And also, if you're an Amazon Prime member, it's completely free. So, you don't have to do anything. So thank you, Noodle Doodle 077 for hitting that subscribe button. Sound like I'm on YouTube right now.
Smash that like
Honestly,
button, guys.
honestly, it is completely optional. No one has to do it at all. But if you do, it'll mean a lot, and we can, we put a lot of effort into these shows and those kind of things, and all that we do really. And we've never asked for anything back from anyone, but we're gonna open this just because, it's a nice way to support us. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for that, Ian. Thanks, obviously, for subscribing. Um, and obviously, also just one last thing: subscribe to YouTube in case you ever miss any streams. We're uploading those things
Yes.
almost like instantaneously in like 2 hours after quick editings. So if you ever miss anything, don't worry; it's gonna be there forever. It's obviously YouTube; everyone can access. So that's something you guys should also do. Now, let's get back into our flow of things and what
Sorry.
we want to cover. No, that was really good. But I agree with you on the humankind video. I think euphoria is the one word to describe it really, really well. I think it was really, really good. Bethany, did you have any similar thoughts on the video itself?
Yeah, absolutely. I love the video. I thought that it really captured the feeling of these shows and of the tour perfectly. It was just so joyous. I mean, I just had a huge smile on my face watching it the entire time. Um, I I also really like those shots of them sitting on that billboard. I saw a couple like behind the scenes pictures as well of Chris with that sort of camera rig like
Mm-hmm.
attached to his uh, around his waist, which got the shot of him spinning around, which was a super cool one.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's tons of fun. Really everything that this tour is about. So yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that shot of Chris spinning around on the B stage in just so much happiness is going to be a gift that's going to be used for a long, long time. I think so. Um, so no, I agree. I think it was great, and that music video is kind of one of the last missing pieces of the things we were hoping for with this album. So let's see what comes next. But it also opened the gateway to obviously all the store announcement, which we are now going to get into. Um, Ian, I want to
I
ask
was
you.
I was just gonna say I think people are still waiting for that coloratura at the Roundhouse video, but okay. I
We'll see.
don't- Sorry, go on. The
No,
next
I
question.
I agree, but God knows what's going to happen with that. But Ian, I want to ask you one quick thing on this. What do you think make of the timing of the announcement in terms of new tour dates and this music
Yeah.
video? Is there any thoughts on that?
Well, I think I was at Wembley when this stuff started to come out, like with the Humankind video and then the locations, and everyone was asking us when do tickets go on sale, and I was like, I'm sure they'll give us a couple of weeks, maybe next month or so. But it isn't. It's this week, which feels pretty rough, off the back of, it'll feel rough to some who have just spent a lot of money to go to these shows, like, oh shit. I know there's people from Italy, for instance, at the show tonight in Glasgow, and they paid because this year that's the only show that they could go to.
Yeah.
And they can find out next year there's maybe five, well, there is five at the moment. There's potentially more
Mm-hmm.
Italian dates happening next year.
Mm-hmm.
So they might feel a bit hard done by, but again, they are seeing Coldplay this year. It's a strange one, and I think to the ones who'll go to many shows, it might feel harsh on the pockets
Mm-hmm.
because they've just spent all that money to go and see them this year. And I think especially for Europe, because it's literally just now. Whereas US, you've had a couple of months to,
Yeah.
calm down, um, save up a bit of cash potentially for next year, knowing that next year is coming and you've got time to maybe plan ahead and all those things. Europe, you've not really had that. It's like the shows are just finished and next ones are already on sale. So
Yeah.
but tactically for them, they had to do it rather than later because there's a lot of big artists who are going to be touring next year. There's going to be massive artists who are doing Wembley, who are doing Stade de France, who are doing other big stadiums around Europe that could take away from the people who go to Coldplay shows.
Yeah.
So they kind of had to get ahead of the game, and that's why they've probably done it now versus in October or November, which we were probably anticipating.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with that. I think there's also another factor that right now I think all charts, all data indicate that Coldplay are trending, especially in Europe, like never before. All their songs are climbing up the charts. So many videos from Wembley are viral on TikTok with hundreds of thousands of views, maybe millions of views, 100,000 likes. Um, so it definitely it's kind of making hay while the sun shines. That's the concept that I think the band and the team is really kind of going for, because they know that they can not sell things out right now, and they already are. So it's not
But
it's
for the fan who's been living in Napoli and hasn't seen them for a few years, or the fan who is living in Portugal who hasn't seen them for over 10 years,
mm-hmm.
it's a fantastic day and they've
Oh,
been
it's
waiting for
amazing.
this,
It's
So
amazing.
there's two sides of it.
Yeah,
Definitely two sides to it.
absolutely.
And for the majority, most people will be prepared.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
I
so.
think we have to remember that the people that are going to, 8, 9, 10 shows, it's quite a small minority.
Yeah.
Um, so
Absolutely, absolutely. Bethany, are you glad that you have a little bit of time before US dates get announced, or what are your
oh,
feelings?
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was hoping to maybe get to one of the dates in Germany earlier this summer.
Hmm.
But I'm gonna be definitely planning that for next year. But yeah, we'll get to that a little bit later.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I will also see. We'll get to all of those later. Ian, let's get into these. Let's get into them one by one. Let's start with the first date that they're going to go back to on May 17th in Portugal, in the city of Coimbra. Also, I apologize in advance for butchering all the pronunciations that we're going to have here. Um, but the stadium is about 54,000 people, and they have not, as you said, they have not performed in Portugal since 2012. Um, that's why they kicked off the Milo Xylo tour at the European Stadium
Mhm.
tour. So it is
Yeah.
a bit of a surprise one because it's not Porto or Lisbon. So what do you think about the scene? Is this kind of a little bit out of the blue, but are you also like, does it make sense? What are your feelings on this?
Honestly, my Portuguese geography wasn't great, so I never really heard of Coimbra before, like last week, if I'm being honest. But when I looked it up, it's a perfect halfway spot between um, Lisbon and Porto, which in many ways, in some strange ways, is the perfect place so that fans can get to it.
Yeah.
Um, so, it's 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 fine. I think the stadium is going to hold, yeah, 54,000, you said, I
Yes.
think. Right. So it's a great place to start the tour. Portugal, I guess they would have liked to have gone there on Head Full of Dreams as well, but couldn't. So they're really making by not picking Lisbon or Porto and going to somewhere like Canberra is so different. So it's great. It's
Yeah.
great, and the energy will be high. I always say that the first shows of the legs are great to go to, and also the last ones of the legs are great to go to as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, for fans in Portugal, it's a long anticipated wait that will just bring out great returns
Yeah.
because they'll be so hyped to see the band once again. And for fans who are traveling to Portugal, you could have a nice holiday there, you know? So it's all good.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Bethany, do you think we'll have a couple of extra dates? I expect this one to sell out pretty quickly.
Yeah, definitely. I think they plan these dates really strategically. Like you said before, there is wiggle room if they were to add, even more dates than they just had earlier today. But yeah, I think an extra date for this one is pretty likely.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's
Chat.
potential for even 2 dates in this one.
Mm.
I think they want to test the demand out of Portugal because they've not been there. They want to see how it's going. There could even be 3 Portugal dates, which would be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah,
calendar allows for it.
yeah,
So,
yeah. I think so. I think there's a big market there. They haven't really gone to south of Europe that much. I think we might also have a lot of people from like Morocco or Northern Africa who
mm,
can afford to travel, kind of make that journey over to
it's true.
Portugal or maybe Spain. We'll get to the Spanish gigs as well. But Jack, let us know if you're going to any specific dates. I do want to shout you out. Um, Charlie here is also just mentioning, don't forget that they often put on tickets on sale a few days before the shows in case you miss out or can't afford it.
Mm.
Yeah, like the Infinity ticket, if they plan to do that again next year, I'm sure they'll be there to, you know, um, at some of these shows. So you know, I for me, I will say if I could go to Europe, I don't know if I can. I know I tweeted about this once. I would love to go to Portugal and to go to shows in Spain because I think they're going to be absolutely incredible. And speaking of Spain, let's get into the next one, which is in Barcelona. We have
Mm.
3 nights confirmed now. There's two, but we got a new one today. It's going to be at the Estadi Olympic, which basically is the Olympic Stadium. 55,000 people per night. Um, but Ian, we don't. It's not at the Camp Nou. What do you
No.
think? The Spotify Camp Nou, as I believe it's called now. What do you think of that development?
Well, I got told that there might be some construction developments at that stadium at the Camp Nou, which is I think they performed there in 2009. Um, But I think it's also the infamous show where the speaker wasn't working properly. So they might even have nightmares of going back to that place.
Oh
So,
yeah.
I don't know if that's true. I feel like it is, but I might need to fact check myself. But I feel like, yeah, that's why they might not want to go back
Hmm.
there. Just for what would you call that?
Trauma.
Reasons. Yeah, traumatic reasons. Yes. It is a shame though, because it is such an iconic stadium.
Yeah.
They performed at Stade Olympic in Head Full of Dreams tour, and there were great shows. There were a lot of celebrities there. So so it's a fantastic city, is Barcelona. Amazing energy. It is the closest. Well, Barcelona and some of the Italy gigs will be closest to you get to a full Latin America experience, which is, you know,
Insane.
what everyone dreams about, I guess,
Yeah.
as a as a Coldplay fan in Europe or the US. So yeah, I mean, if I have the capacity, I might try and get there myself because I think those will be really really good days, and they
Hmm.
have great food, and it's by the beach, so why not?
All bonuses. Betty, do you remember the story Ian mentioned about the speakers not working? Do you want to elaborate on that if you remember it?
I actually don't. I don't know the show that you mean.
I think it
It
was
it was in Spain somewhere, but I don't know if it was Barcelona.
yeah, but I think it was. I remember Chris was talking about it, where it was like one section of the crowd seemed extremely well, they're making a lot of motions, hand motions, and he
Mm.
thought that they're having an amazing time and this is a great gig. And then later on, he was told that they couldn't hear anything on that side of the stadium because the speakers were not working. Which is this is many many years ago. Definitely not Head Full of Dreams. Maybe Milo Tour.
No, no, it was Viva Tour. It was
It was
Viva
Weaver
Tour,
Tour.
but yeah, but I don't know. Maybe I'll try and Google that whilst someone else is asking the question in a minute.
I'm reading Matt McGinn's book right now, which talks a lot about the Viva Tour. So I guess I haven't
Yes.
gotten to that part yet in the book.
Juan in the chat says it was Barcelona during the Viva Tour. I
Yeah,
Mm.
think. Yeah, we think as well, but
yeah.
we're
Um,
supposed to be experts here. I think it was. I think it was. So yeah,
hmm.
I don't know. I feel like the new camp is, although it's an incredible stadium and it holds way more people, it's just maybe a little bit traumatic to go back to.
Yeah,
uh,
which is it's a shame because I think the stadium and the club could do with more money coming in with these shows. But I think it's still going to be great. Again, Charlie saying that the 2016 shows were amazing. When he was great and open, crowd is wild.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I think the fact that it's so open will give it the 100% license for full pyro experience, which can
Yes.
vary very significantly depending on where you're performing. Um, so let's see. Hopefully they'll be good. And as I said, if I can go, I would love to go. So let's see. Fingers crossed. I don't know what I'm doing. Um, but yeah,
We
let's
should
let.
clip that bit up. I don't know what I'm doing.
Next we go to the UK. We're back in the UK. We go to your hometown, which I believe, Ian, which is Manchester, the Etihad Stadium, iconic
Mhm.
ground. Do you want to tell us a little bit about it?
Well, it's not really my hometown, but it's near where I'm from.
Hmm.
Um, it's the stadium of the enemy for me as a football fan. But I've had some fantastic nights there in 2016 at at the at the Etihad Stadium. Hard to say that, sorry. Uh, no, it was great nights. Manchester crowds are a little more loose than your other UK crowds. I don't know what it is. It's just people from Manchester have their ways, and it makes for a great atmosphere, especially at a concert. Um, so really, really, really looking forward to that. I will try to get there. I'll try to get my family there as well.
Hmm.
So those are ones I'll be looking for tickets tomorrow in the sale.
Hmm.
I know some people have already got theirs in the pre-sale, so congratulations to you. You're way ahead of me already. So congrats there. But yeah, no, it's one I plan to go with a family too. We got 2 dates at the moment. Um, I'm predicting three, maybe four. I
Yeah.
think three is quite likely, um, but there is potential for four. It depends how they. I think they'll do two Cardiff gigs, which is cutting ahead, but so that'd bring the total to six, potentially six UK dates,
Hmm.
um, which makes a lot of sense. Johnny always gets a lot of. It's Johnny's a bit of a strange one because when Coldplay go to Manchester,
Hmm.
Chris says, and this is Johnny Buckland from kind of like Chester area, which is where he used to live at one point. So he says Johnny from Chester, and then when they go to Wales, he say Johnny is Welsh, and then when they're in London, they'll say Johnny is in. So we never really know where Johnny's from.
Johnny
Um,
really is a global citizen, huh?
that's who he is. But so Johnny that week in between Manchester and Wales will be the hometown hero of every show. So that'll
Yeah.
be.
It'll be special. I want to.
I think I remember Johnny told me the story once. He was born in London, then they moved to Wales, then they moved to Chester, and then he moved back down to London for university. So that's he's kind of lived around. So
Okay,
that's what
okay. I
that
can
was.
relate to that. Yeah. A
Yes.
couple of things I do want to shout out in the chat because I saw them. They played at the Stadio Olympic in 2009. Tim has fact checked us through Coldplay.
All
Um,
right.
and that's where they suffered the sound problems. So that's why they're going back. They have to make sure it's right every single time. And so they never played at camp now. So we were wrong as the experts here.
All right.
But thank you for
There
fact
we
checking
go.
us. And Bethany, I think you asked one a question about why why it would be more sustainable, and he answered back saying that Portugal has been sanctioned lately by the EU for exceeding carbon emissions in urban areas, so that's why they decided to not do it in like a quote unquote big city. which makes a lot of sense. So thank you
I've
guys
just
for this.
I just want to fact check Tim again because I just searched Camp Nou, September 4th, 2009, Coldplay. So there's some Getty images. I'm seeing the stadium. I'm seeing Chris Martin on a guitar. So uh, yeah, let's 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 fact check after after the show.
We'll have to fact check it later. But yeah, I think Manchester is going to be a lot of fun. I think a lot of people in the UK wanted to go to Wembley, they could not. And there was such a high demand for it. I think if they did a seventh date, they probably would have filled that out as well. Uh, so
Yes.
I think, and because of how big Coldplay got, especially in the UK, with the amount they're trending, the charting on the TikTok videos, I think they're easily going to sell out Manchester dates. A lot of people from Liverpool and like the other Midlands areas, and from northern UK, like Newcastle areas, lots of people would be much more willing to travel to a Manchester than a London, which is much further away for a lot of people.
Mhm.
Um, so
Yeah.
I think they're going to be really really special. Yeah. Um, let's see. Let's get to the next one, which is again may or may not be Johnny's hometown, Cardiff, Wales, the Principality Stadium. So both Manchester and the Principality, we are expecting about 55,000 people per night. And Bethany, why don't you tell us a little bit about what we can expect in Cardiff?
Yeah, sure. I mean, this brings us then to the 6th of June. So like we said, they do have a little bit of wiggle room there after the 2 nights in Manchester if they were to add an extra date. They last performed at this stadium back in 2017. They had two sold out nights here with great lively crowds. This also is closest to not only where Johnny's from, but where Chris is from in the West Country. So this is only one date. Similar with Portugal, it has a high chance of selling out quickly. So we might see an extra date added here. We might not. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Um, I think it's again going to be a great atmosphere. I have a little bit of trauma associated with Cardiff because the one time I've actually gone there, I got carjacked, so it was, it was a great experience.
I
But
remember you telling me that. That's
yeah,
crazy. And it
it
was
was
near the
insane.
stadium, you said, I think.
It wasn't far, but it was also
Yeah.
horrible. I was so dumb. I just left like my possessions in the car that anyone could see was there. So this is more like me being dumb and also just having bad luck. So it's not a. I'm not saying it's a bad city. It's a great city, but just be careful whenever you're traveling. Learn from my experiences.
It's a
Um,
fine city. Don't worry about that,
yeah,
Billy.
it's actually really really great, and I know the Welsh people are super friendly and super amazing and super into Coldplay as well. I think generally they don't really get slacked off there as much as maybe someone from London would probably do it. But yeah, I expect another great gig there. Good chance of selling out. I mean, all of these will probably sell out. We'll see if there's going to be an extra date. There's a chance. But let's see.
There could be a chance for two extra dates here as well, to be honest. I think they'll probably check the supply and demand because after that they've got a 2 week break.
Yeah.
So how long they keep the like they could probably do 4 nights in Manchester and 3 nights in Cardiff if they really wanted to max it out.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, I feel like it's probably going to be 5 shows though, like
Yeah.
maybe 3 and 2, 5 or 6. But the max they could do is 7 in the UK, which would be great.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
yeah,
Ian, what do you think about No Dublin? That was the biggest show
yes,
they did last time around the last tour. Had insane
massive,
crowds.
massive surprise for me. We were fully expecting Dublin to be on there. We put it in our prediction list.
Hmm.
82,000 people last time in Croke Park for one night on a Saturday night. And people talk about that day like it's legend, in Ireland. So, it was a massive event, and for them not to be going back there is a bit of a shock. Maybe they're planning for the year ahead beyond that, and they're gonna maybe do multiple dates there then when they can. But it was a little bit of a shock
Hmm.
to me, to be honest. Maybe I don't know with that 2 week break they did that this time around as well, or I don't know if it was 10 days or something like that. But it just feels like I don't know. It's strange to me they're not going there. Maybe they signed some exclusive gig with a festival or something that's in and around Ireland, like they did for Rock in Rio, where they can only sell tickets for that event this year, and then they'll open up after. But I don't know. I couldn't get my head around that one when the dates came around. That was the strange one for me.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was the bottle incident. I saw that in the chat. Yes, it was. But
Yeah.
that's not the reason why they're not going back. There must be something else to it because obviously they're well loved. They'll easily sell out on a date. They have a strong reputation there. So let's see. Let's see what happens. Speaking of festivals, Bethany, do you think Glastonbury could happen? Or is that not going to happen right now?
I don't know. I mean, after last time, I kind of thought that they were done with Glastonbury, but I could personally see it happening. I don't think it will though.
Yeah. Yeah, as we know, that's basically Copa's home. I'm sure
I
they'll
don't think
headline it.
the dates don't really allow for it. I don't
Yeah,
think. I think it looks like they'll be busy in Milan around that time. So
probably.
yeah,
Um, let's see, maybe 24. I mean, they have some time left, and I'm sure they'll headline it for a long time to come. So
I think they might do it when the last album is out or something like that.
okay,
So
could
then
be,
it's like the final Coldplay Glastonbury thing.
could be,
Um,
it could
uh,
be.
yeah, that's my prediction. I don't think they'll do it
Yeah, I
this year or next year.
I think they also haven't 100% figured out how to incorporate something like Glastonbury and make it super sustainable the way they want to, because that festival will definitely add a lot to their carbon emissions calculations that they're doing for each show. They don't have control over everything there. So let's see. Maybe not next year, but maybe the year after. And honestly, that's okay because there's enough stress getting these tickets, and then you got to stress about Glastonbury tickets. So we can do them one at a time. There's no hurry. They're still going to be around. Um, then we have a 2 week break. That's good. Let everyone rest. Let Chris's voice rest. Let your own muscles rest up as a lot of people appreciate it. I know Vinny. I remember. Hopefully, we'll have him on one day on the stream. Said to us that he was very glad to get a small amount of break because it made him appreciate the shows again after. But also, he was just exhausted. So, for us super fans, it's great. But then we get right into a date that really did catch a lot of people by surprise, but in a really good way. They're going to Italy, but they're going to Naples, to the Diego Maradona Stadium. 50,000 capacity, but it is a surprise choice. Bethany, do you want to tell us a little bit about that decision?
Yeah, I personally uh I haven't heard of them playing in Naples before. I don't know if anyone else has. So it might be the first time that they're playing there. First time or a first non-Italian band to play there since U2 in 1993. So that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like we said, it's capacity of 50,000 a night, so pretty sizable. Um, and we just got an extra date added today, so that's exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. Ian, your thoughts on Naples and the Diego Maradona Stadium? Iconic name.
But yes, I never thought the words Diego Maradona and Coldplay would be stringed together, but here we are.
Here we are.
Um, Here we are. But honestly, I'm so happy for Italians who will finally get to see Coldplay outside of, let's say, Milan. I know it's been a long time coming. I can't. They did Turin, I think, in Milo Tour as well as Milan, but it's been a long time coming that they go to deeper Italy. So, it's fantastic. They're going so south in Italy. It's one of those that's also on my potential list as a nice holiday, like Barcelona, because it's close to the Amalfi Coast. It's
Yeah.
in a fantastic, Pompeii's not too far away as well. So there's a lot to go and see around there if you're a traveling fan.
Mm-hmm.
But for locals and Italians who have been waiting to see Coldplay for many, many years now, it's fantastic. And I
Absolutely.
know, yeah, let us know if you've already got tickets because I saw a lot of people, a lot of Well, I saw a lot of happy and I saw a lot of angry Italians today saying the pre-sale was a load of shit, but
I heard that from the
it
Dutch
is what it
fans
is.
yesterday, too. So
Yeah.
um,
Yes, that's true.
it always is, but it always works out at the end. That's our philosophy here. Always works out. It's always worth it. And seeing here in the chat from um, Charity in a local Naples newspaper, they said that Chris chose Naples after a lot of scouting. I did read that article while
Hmm.
researching for today. And I think also said that this would be the first non-Italian band to play there since U2 in
Hmm.
'93. Again, I don't know how accurate that is, but it is believable to me because I haven't heard um, like big bands
I
playing
think
there.
I read something like that as well, but I saw last year there was some kind of festival
Hmm.
where they had a few artists on, and it was at the stadium. I don't, yeah, honestly, I don't know the full truth of it, but it sounds like it hasn't held a concert, a proper concert for a long time, like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
Coldplay with all the pyro, all the bells and whistles that they bring. So it's interesting you say that Chris has scouted that place. I wonder how he scouted it, whether it was watching. I don't think he watches football, so how he got to this is quite an interesting choice. For me at least, like because we I think we had Rome on our maybe list,
we
but
did.
they've gone even further than that and picked a real surprise city
Yeah,
in Naples.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
wonderful,
It's great.
wonderful.
It's great.
Imagine living in Naples and knowing you don't have to travel to go and see your band. You know,
Yeah,
that's what a feeling
feeling.
out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be very very special, very very special. I think the crowd is gonna be sensational, and I know Italians love Coldplay. I met a few of them in the U.S. too, who had Italian flags and everything. I met one in Atlanta. I remember she was standing next to me, or like two people away from me at the barrier, and had a small Italian flag as well. So it's gonna be very very special. We're very happy, obviously, for the people who get to watch them. Um, and obviously and oh, by the way, speaking of that one newspaper, one other thing I read was the mayor of Naples was also bragging about Coldplay coming, so it's definitely a big deal for everyone there.
Sounds like there's an election coming.
It probably is. um, but then we move on to Milan and San Siro, a truly amazing and iconic venue. Betsy, do you want to tell us a little bit about what that show's all going to be all about?
Sure. Yeah, I was just looking at pictures of this stadium earlier today and how it looked during the Head Full of Dreams tour. It just looks gorgeous. Um, so yeah, definitely anyone going to these couple of shows, it's going to be amazing. It's a big stadium, it holds 60,000.
Hmm.
Um,
But the
like you said,
concerts, yeah.
yeah, for
Yeah.
concerts. Last time on the Head Full of Dreams tour, they did 2 nights there. Also, it being in Italy, they did bring out Davide Rossi, so I think we could potentially see that again, even though he did come out at a recent date. But yeah, this these couple of Italian shows, I mean, almost a full week just in Italy. I mean, there's a vacation. There's your week-long vacation.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. San Siro is obviously super, super iconic just for the football that's played there. But I think those two shows they did in the Head Full of Dreams store were also extremely special. A lot of clips were used for promo. I know a decent amount of it was also used in the DVDs that were released later for the tour, and also in the documentary. We also had Miracle's Someone Special, the one and only
Mm.
time it was played with Big Sean on the big screen, and that's it. It's only got one
And
time.
it was before the release as well.
Yeah.
So all these kind of bootleg versions of this song going around, which was exciting at the time.
Yeah.
What I love about the stadium is it's similar to the Brussels Stadium and the Glasgow Stadium, which is where it's actually side on.
Mm-hmm.
So it feels and the San Siro is so steep, it feels like one big shoebox almost in a weird way. It's like a shoebox stadium. So when you've got seats and you're like literally in front of the B stage is so close to you that it's such a great atmosphere and you don't feel far away at all.
Yeah.
If anything, you feel more further away when you're on the side stand. So,
Hmm.
um, yeah, that'll be it. The energy from the Head Full of Dreams shows at San Siero's were incredible. Um, it's a bucket list venue to go and watch them, to be
I
honest.
agree. Yeah.
I've heard mixed things about Milan, the city. Apparently, it's very industrial and they only have like a couple of nice places. But if you go in for Coldplay
You
and
won't have
you're
the
gonna have
energy.
nice food, yeah, go for Coldplay, go for the nice food, and you know, enjoy. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, but no,
Absolutely.
it'll be fantastic. I did want to say actually that because Beth brought it up about David De Rossi. Um, I'm surprised because he came on and did Sunrise at those shows, but he didn't do Viva La Vida with them on the B stage. I thought it was made for them to do Viva La Vida on the B stage. Maybe they're saving that for Italy next year.
Yeah, that's true.
It is.
Anyway,
Um, well, hopefully we'll get more of him. Whenever we get him involved with Coldplay in any sense, it's always very special. He's always done amazing things, and he's a great guy. Very fun to speak to from the couple of interviews that I have read and seen, and yeah, it should be fun.
yeah, we
Hopefully.
should try to get him on one day.
We should.
We
Chad,
should
would
try.
you like
Yeah,
that? Would you want us to get Davide one day? We'll
yeah,
try if y'all want it. If
yeah.
y'all say no, we won't do it. But
Yeah.
just let us know. Um, yeah, but as you said, I think it's going to be one of those bucket list items. Like a Wembley is like the Stade de France is same for San Siro. We had two dates confirmed, then one got announced today, and we're probably going to get at least one more. I think, maybe two. We'll see. Um, but then we move north up to Switzerland. We go to Zurich for one day. It's at I don't know how to pronounce this name, but it's at the Letzigrund. I'm probably butchering that, but it's
It's
44,000 people.
it's not too bad the pronunciation
Oh,
you
thank
had.
you,
It
thank
was
you.
quite good.
I
Yeah.
appreciate it. 44,000 people. They played at the Head Full of Dreams store in 2016, and we potentially might get one extra date. I'll be honest, I wasn't really expecting Switzerland. Like I was expecting a Dublin show more than a Switzerland show, for instance.
Mm.
But I think a lot of people from Austria would be very happy that there's something happening around there. Easier for them to get to, and easy for people in south of Germany also to get to. So
Mm.
let's see. I think we might get one more date. Ian, what do you think?
It kind of is a surprise, but it kind of isn't because they always love going there, and it's actually the most expensive. Surprise, surprise! Switzerland is the most expensive one in Europe to go to, out of all the dates with what the ticket prices that I've seen, and just accommodation and food and things like that. Expect to pay 20 euros for one slice of pizza, as Veronica informed me. So that's just how it is. Um, Location wise, I didn't think what I was most surprised after there was no French date announced. So I think in our prediction we had Milan and Lyon,
Mm-hmm.
and we said they probably won't do Zurich because it's too close to those two. But if we're picking in economics, then it's always going to be Zurich over Lyon.
Yeah.
So there'll be people from France coming in. It's not too far
Mm-hmm.
for East France.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, Ilko makes a good point there. It's also a weekend show, so people will feel obliged to go.
Yeah.
um, anyway, but in all honesty, I think they might add an extra date, but it's a skippable gig.
Don't say that.
It was a whisper. You
It's a
didn't hear
whisper.
it.
Well, you say skippable gig, but Bethany, aren't you planning on going to Zurich for the
Well,
show?
just because I have a friend who lives in the south of Germany, so she was
Okay.
upset that they didn't come, a little bit further south this past summer. So I was just throwing it around. But someone said in the chat here, good luck to anyone traveling to Switzerland for this date. Once one date is enough, you might go bankrupt.
I agree.
So
Yeah.
might have to rethink that.
I agree.
We were
Um,
surprised also not to see Munich on the list. I think that's no Germany, no France dates. We expected maybe they won't go to a lot of Germany just because they did a lot of shows this year already.
mm-hmm.
Hmm.
But we were at least expecting Munich, and that's not there. So
Hmm.
Yeah, nothing in South Germany, nothing in France at all. It's but it is what it is. It'll
It
still
is
be
how it
great.
is. I think, yeah, I think it should be fun. I would say, all jokes aside, Switzerland is a ridiculously beautiful country. I've been lucky
Yes.
enough to go there a couple of times with family. So if you can, even if you can't go to the show, but you're traveling around with Coldplay a little bit or planning to, just go and sightsee a little bit. It's so beautiful. So anything can be done on a budget. But yeah, so the Swiss fans are going to be happy. The next set of fans who are going to be happy are going to be the Danish fans in Copenhagen. We have two nights, July 5th and 6th at the Parkin. 48,000 people. Um, they last played there in 2016. So again, these are the type of dates where people are seeing. If you haven't seen them and you live in Denmark, you might have a chance to see them after almost 7 years. So that's absolutely insane. A little bit about what they did in 2016. Let me just bring up Copenhagen here. Great picture, another iconic picture that came out of that door. They played. The reason why I want to bring this up is because I went through the Headful of Dreams set list for that show particularly. It brought back so many memories, but also I was just automatically comparing it to what we're having now. I was like, okay, you gotta stop comparing things all the time. So they played Heroes. They played Shiver, which is a request song, and I say Shiver because it was also in the London recap video that they posted yesterday. They played Birds, which I just, they haven't played in a long time, obviously, and they covered Prince's Sometimes It Snows in April with Leanne.
Yes.
Uh,
Leon the Havas. Yeah.
Leanne de Havas, who was one of the openers at that time. So what a throwback, huh? No, do you think an extra date here, or it's just not possible?
The calendar doesn't allow it. Literally, it does not allow it. On this, they've got the two dates there. There won't be any more because at the weekend after that, they'll be in Sweden. So there's literally no more shows happening. That's the two nights you're getting. Um, Maybe they could do July 3rd, looking at the calendar actually, but I don't know. They've done two nights off, two nights on, and that seems like it'll be the case for Copenhagen, and
Hmm.
those two shows are it.
Yeah.
Um, the Copenhagen show, I remember there was so many, because it's another shoebox style stadium where it's
Hmm.
very square and rigid. Um, but I there was so many iconic pictures from the Head Full of Dreams tour. I was on the timeline today looking at them, and we picked one there with the lasers, but there were so many great photos with Chris jumping around or from the crowd. Roddy 42 had a great night there. It seemed with taking photos there last time, and I'm
Absolutely.
sure a
Um,
lot of people will have good times next time.
yeah, I think so. I think so. Bethany, we got a question here saying, do you guys think there won't be new dates announced, or that it is not the final EU leg? What do you? I think it's time to put on a clown hat. What do you think is going to happen to answer this Charlie's question?
Yeah, I mean, I could see there being more dates announced for this leg. Um, I I think it'll be the last time they're going around Europe for a little while. I mean, we still haven't gotten announcements for, Southeast Asia, Australia, New Zealand, even more US dates. I know, some people are getting impatient. They've been waiting and waiting and waiting for, especially people in Asia and other places where they just haven't announced anything yet. So I could see more dates getting added. There is room for a couple more, maybe in a new city, but I think this will be it for a little while.
This might be it for a little while. Let's see.
I uh, I don't think there'll be any more European shows next year. I think this is it, location wise. But
Hmm.
the year after, all these places we're saying, like Lyon, Munich, Dublin, they could be the potentials the year after. Who knows, they might even go back to Stade de France or Wembley again the year after that if they were to keep touring in
Yeah.
2024.
Yeah.
That would be amazing, wouldn't it? A couple more albums down the line, hopefully. So yeah,
Yeah, let's see. Let's see. Um, well, we will. You just have to keep an eye on things. That's our answer, really. Um, and Speaking of other places, let's talk about Sweden. They're going back to Sweden after a long time, 2017. City of Gothenburg. I do not know how to pronounce that stadium's name. Levi, maybe. Um,
Something like that. Yeah.
Something else up. Capacity of 64,000 people. The one thing I do remember from this show was that a lot of it was in the daylight, naturally, because Sweden is so far north up, so there's not
Yeah.
much the band can do there. But it had a very, very iconic video of Charlie Brown that kind of went semi-viral,
Mm.
where it was filmed on stage. Obviously, at that point of time, they used to stop Charlie Brown and redo it. And it was just 64,000 people with their arms in the air and clapping. The whole stadium was clapping at the same time, and then everyone was jumping synchronized. So it was amazing energy, absolutely amazing. So definitely, if you don't remember what I'm talking about, go check it out. It's a very iconic video of Charlie Brown where you can just see how excited people are, even though the wristbands aren't doing that much because it's so like light out still. But very very great crowd, and I think I saw a comment from uh, Ani, who's a Finnish co-player, saying that most of Finland is just going to travel over to Sweden for these
Yeah.
shows. So we're probably going to get an additional date, aren't we?
And Norway as well, probably.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can
yeah,
see that.
yeah,
No, the footage and the photos that came out of Gothenburg last time around were amazing, and I think they got the Charlie Brown video, which, as I say, went semi-viral, but that was also with the no phones trick,
yeah,
so
yeah, yeah. No
it's not
phones.
all as it seems.
Well,
No phones, so
completely
it
worth it.
works. It works. That's
It
the
works.
point. Yeah.
It works.
So yeah, there's probably space for one more date. Excuse me, but that's about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be great. We all
I
need a
think
drink
our
here.
sorry, I think our yeah, our Scandinavian fans are going to be very very happy that they're back there. So let's see. We'll see another date maybe. Sell those dates out and you'll get more shows. Simple as that. That's how it works. Um, but then we go to the final stop here in a little known city called Amsterdam. If I'm pronouncing that correctly, obviously I am. In the Netherlands, we have 3 nights there in the Johan Cruyff Arena. Iconic city in Europe, obviously. 52,000 people per night. And they played Amsterdam in Amsterdam
Mm.
last time. Bethany, do you remember that video and that performance?
I do, yeah. I honestly, this was one of the first things I thought of when I saw that Amsterdam dates got released. I can definitely see it happening again this time around. I think maybe as like a B stage, solo piano thing.
Hmm.
I can see it getting played there. So I think people will be anticipating that.
Yeah, absolutely. Ian, I think you know everything there is to know about Amsterdam. What do you have to tell us about the city and the show that we can expect there?
Well, I was feeling a bit down and depressed after coming home from Wembley, and I went on a tweet rampage about why Amsterdam isn't the greatest city in the world, and then I deleted it quickly after everyone trashed me. So all you need to know about Amsterdam is a beautiful city, and the crowds aren't that bad, and it'll be a fantastic show.
Okay.
No, I'm joking. I'm really looking forward to these dates. Hopefully I think there's already three announced, right? I
Mm-hmm.
think there'll be four. There could
Mm-hmm.
there's even potentially to be five or six. It's kind of that kind of level. It's one of the standouts, I think, from the list where a lot of people, and from what I've seen, a lot of fans want to come to as well. So, you know, very excited for Amsterdam. It's very convenient for me,
Yep.
um, obviously. But yeah, no, I mean, uh, to 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 think about them being in Amsterdam is just, I don't know. For me, it's weird because I live here and I always had to go and travel for shows, and wherever I was ever living in the world, they were never there. So it's going to be the first time they're actually here in the city that I'm living in. So I don't really know how I feel about it. It feels weird for me.
Feels weird.
Ilko says there'll be a lot of tall Dutch people. That's true. And Ilko, I don't know if there's many taller than you.
Yeah.
So
um,
no, yeah, that is true though. Dutch people are insanely tall just by genetics. So watch out for that. Um,
Watch out for
Guy's
bites.
City, someone else. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, you have to. So many tourists I see still getting knocked down every day on my walks into work or getting breakfast. It's a fantastic city. It's a boutique city. There's so many beautiful places and streets there.
Hmm.
The food is hit and miss. You have to know where to go to get good food. But if you're coming just for the show, you're going to have a great time. There's great transport routes. There's lots and lots of hotels, no matter where you're staying, whether you're staying even around the stadium, there's lots of hotels, or up at the airport, or even in the city. You can get what you want.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Um,
And when you're here, you have to try the Dutchies in the chat will back me up on this. You have to try Frikandel and Bitterballen and Kaasatangels. Maybe I can list more with help of those guys. But yeah, those are the Dutch foods you just have to try when you're here.
awesome. We're gonna make sure that Ian makes the special travels guide for co-players in Amsterdam if he ends up being
Yeah.
in Amsterdam in 2023. We'll release something of that sort. Don't worry.
Parfaits, yeah, they're really good. Croquetten, you have to have those as well. Stroop waffles, of course, yes.
Mhm.
All the Dutch foods are coming through now.
Oh, perfect, perfect. We've had a lot of Dutch co-players on our streams recently as well. So thank you guys for all your suggestions for food and also sharing your experiences with us. Thank you.
Tim says, yeah, you have to go to FIBO as well, which is true. It's just the craziest. I don't know if you know what it is, but it's like this like a vending machine type thing for fast food where you you kind of just take a burger out of this. That is, yeah, it's hard to explain.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway,
Um, but I think it's going to be fun. I think just getting back to the show itself, it's going to be a great time. And it's also going to be the last show on the European leg for 2023. So we might expect something special, some surprise, or at least an extra amount of energy in those shows. Let's see. Let's see on how all of that looks and works out. But this kind of wraps up what we know so far about upcoming dates. We now basically covered everything that could happen in Europe, but we have a few tips on getting tickets. I'm just going to run through these tips quickly. You know, don't rely purely on Ticketmaster. There are other official outlets in each country. So
yes.
please don't get scammed by just using Ticketmaster. I think.
Well,
Just,
also be careful of who they are when they say they're official sales. I think um, in the UK, C tickets and gigs and tours will be your likely outlets for alternatives for Ticketmaster.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
In Italy, I know they have. I don't know if it's Ticket One or if it's Ticketone, which probably is Ticketone, which also sell tickets. What we're trying to say here is don't rely purely on Ticketmaster because they can fuck you up with their queuing systems and all that kind of shit.
Yeah,
So yeah, look for
absolutely.
the alternative official sellers to
Yeah.
Ticketmaster. That's what we're trying to say. Have backup plans.
Would you say that if ever in doubt, just go to Coldplay's website and go to whatever
Uh,
site that place links you to?
Kind of, but they just end up linking you to Ticketmaster, I think,
Okay.
in 99% of the cases because uh, Ticketmaster is, I think, owned by Live Nation, who is the tour promoter. So it's
Bit of a monopoly, sadly.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Um, but yeah, and obviously, if you have other questions, don't just ask us, as we tweeted earlier, because we might
yes,
not know everything and we might have the false information. Best to ask Ticketmaster, Live Nation, official accounts from each country, Coldplay themselves if they are answering. You can send them emails, etc. So definitely do your
yeah.
research.
We
Uh,
the thing is that we put that out because last time when tickets went on sale, we got hounded with requests and DMs and all this kind of stuff that and we didn't get paid a penny by Ticketmaster to deal with all that shit.
yeah.
There are people who are paid to help you, so go and use them. That's what we're
Yes.
trying to say.
Yes.
And they'll know the official information versus us who might be giving you wrong information by accident.
Absolutely.
And I don't want you
Absolutely.
to come back and say, but ColdplayXtra said this. So.
we're no one here, okay? We
Yeah,
don't we,
no.
we aren't recognized that way. So please. Um, a final few tips. If you're using this website, create an account early. Sign in on multiple devices, especially for tomorrow. Refresh about 10-ish minutes before. and then stay in the queue regardless of what happens, and obviously beware of scammers and resellers and all that. They're pretty easy to find usually that they're scamming you, but nowadays they're getting pretty innovative too. So just make sure you're not getting scammed, and make sure you're being absolutely careful. The last thing you want is for this whole thing to become like a nightmare. Um,
I just remembered another outlet which
yeah.
I think is in Italy and it's in Germany and it's in the UK. It's called Eventim. They're official ones as well, so you'll be safe buying with them. Um, and yeah, stay in the queues means when you're in it, don't refresh the page after because that could fuck you up as well. So when it says you're in a queue, just leave that one alone and maybe go on a different device or if you're in Chrome, open Safari or Internet Explorer. Internet Explorer isn't even a thing now. It's Edge, isn't it?
It's Edge.
You know, that's how old I am. Anyway, all
Anyway,
right.
um, so Bethany, what shows if you could go to in Europe would you go to?
Yeah, I mean, really, truly, I might not even be able to get over there for any of them, but I think really any of the Italian dates, the Naples or Milan would be amazing to go to. Barcelona, I know would be amazing. Like I said, maybe Zurich, maybe if I can work that out, but we'll see. I mean, fingers crossed on if I can maybe get it together.
Yes.
But yeah.
Absolutely. I think I completely understand that sentiment about no idea if we can even do it. But obviously, we can dream, we can hope, we can try. Um, but it'll be fun. It'll be fun. Let us know if you're going. Let everyone know so that they can all say hi to you when you're there. And you can meet all European co-players who I also want to meet. All seem like lovely people. Ian, what are you thinking? I know everything's also up in the air with you, so what are you finally thinking?
I'm not sure if it's up in the air, but there's a few things to sort out. Let's say just for family life and stuff like that. But um, I think we'll definitely be doing Manchester next year. That'll be nice to go to with my family.
Mm-hmm.
Amsterdam, considering we're still here, we'll be doing that as well. Um, so we'll see on that. The other ones that I wish we could go to, and if we can kind of do it with the baby, then we'll be going to Barcelona, hopefully, potentially. I think actually Sarah likes the idea of Portugal more, but let's see. But I would actually the one I'm most set on doing is trying to make a nice week in Italy to go to Naples. Fit that in
Mm-hmm.
amongst other travel. Traveling with a baby will be hard. Never done it in my life before, but I already know that it might be challenging.
Just a little
Um,
bit.
Plus, I think I owe my mum when it was her 50th birthday. Um, her kids promised her a holiday um, to Italy, and we never fulfilled that. So,
There you go. There you
so
go.
well, there was a pandemic and shit and all that stuff, but
You don't have that
yeah,
excuse anymore. I mean, even though there is a
no,
pandemic, but
it's
I'm sure you
I
can travel
mean,
now.
yeah, well, as her children, we owe it to her to take her to Italy. So it might be that we go to Italy and my family's there as well. That those are the ones I'm personally looking at. So Barcelona is probably a stretch. So is Portugal, but Naples, Manchester, and Amsterdam will be the ones I'll most likely be at. I don't know. Say if they did 4 or 5 nights in Amsterdam, I don't know if I'd go to them all.
Hmm.
Um, Even going to just two Wembley shows felt like a lot for me. I don't know if that's just because I'm getting old, but like the first day was amazing, but the second day I was just so tired, even if I was just sat in the queue. So I don't know. You younger guys have more energy than me, so
Not that much
I'll
younger.
let I'll let you go to the multiple shows.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we hope to see you guys there. I will. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Well, if I can go, I would love to go to Portugal and Spain. Both of those places, countries I've wanted to visit for a long time. I haven't been yet. I was thinking of doing just going on a holiday over the winter if possible, but I might just push that back for next year. So let's see. I think those are places I'd love to go. I also obviously I've been to Italy once. Beautiful, amazing country, but I was not been to Naples or Milan. Um, So, I mean, if I could go, I would go, but the only problem is it's like a month away, and if I gotta come back to the US and then go again, uh, not sure if
So you have
the
to pick one or the other if you're
yeah,
gonna do it.
I'm not sure how that will
Yeah.
work. So if I go to Spain or Portugal, I'm not gonna meet you, Ian, probably. But if I can make it to Italy, we might finally
If you get a layover flight in Amsterdam with like 7 hours layover time, it could be doable.
because let's see. Well, I'll plan something. I'll plan something out. I'll plan
That was
something.
a no. That was a hell no.
You never
All
know.
right.
Um,
Now we know where we stand. Okay.
we'll see. But let's move on to clowning properly now. It's something we love doing, something all co-players obviously love doing, and we gotta do some predictions for Southeast Asia and U.S.
Yes.
states. We know, well, North America really, North American dates. We know they're going to those two regions, 100%. But we don't know where, we don't know when. So let's start. Bethany, do you want to start us off? Take a stab at some Southeast Asia dates. Let's start there.
Yeah, I mean, I think they will definitely hit the Philippines, Manila for sure. I'm not I don't have the dates memorized of where they had been before on the Head Full of Dreams tour. But uh they probably were there in during
Yes,
that
they were.
tour.
Yes, yes.
Uh Singapore, Bangkok, Thailand, I think that's a definite good guess. Um and Indonesia, I think just all the big places, I think they'll likely hit.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Chat, let us know as well what you guys are thinking because obviously we don't know exactly where they're going. We're just gonna give it a shot. Um, let me also take a stab at it. I think obviously if they go to Thailand, they'll go to Bangkok. I think they'll do multiple dates in Singapore. I think they might also go to Malaysia. I know it's close by, but people will find Malaysia cheaper, so it might open up to a different type of audience. If they don't go to India, I expect a lot of Indian co-players to go over to Singapore, a Bangkok, and a Malaysia. So if they don't decide not to go to India, which would be a huge shame, I would be extremely unhappy. But I'm
It
sure
will.
I'm sure they'll have their reasons if they can't go. Um, but if that's not the
Is
case,
India classed as Southeast Asia?
not really. But
No, okay. Because we were going to talk about East Asia, I think, which is like Japan, South Korea, this kind of area a little
yeah.
bit later. But I what we understand there is that COVID protocols are very strict still in those countries, and
Yeah.
it's not sure if that's going to change anytime soon, which may means they have to quarantine all the touring people, and all this. It'd be a logistical nightmare for them
Mm-hmm.
to try and pull Japan or Korea off at this point, unfortunately, still. So places like that, maybe that's why the wording is Southeast Asia for now rather than Asia tour.
Yeah,
Um,
I agree.
that's what I'm guessing.
Yeah, but I
I
know
don't know
that.
if they would do Malaysia just be. Oh God,
Oh
sorry.
no, no, go for it, go for it,
Go
go
ahead.
for it.
I was just going to say I don't know if they do Malaysia just because Singapore is right there,
Mm-hmm.
and I think they did multiple nights there on Head Full of Dreams tour as well. It's pretty easy to just travel in there from Malaysia. So I don't know if they do Malaysia, but Philippines definitely. Manila, I think Phil already confirmed that in some way or another
Yeah,
to fan at Wembley.
he
So
did. Yeah.
yeah, so that's
Uh,
all good. I know our friend Eddie. He complained a little bit about the Manila gig on Head Full of Dreams, saying it was in a car park. So hopefully it's not in a car park this next time. Who knows? The truth is like you don't really care once you're there and seeing them.
yeah,
You'd watch them in a car park if it was the only place you could watch them, and people will anyway.
yeah,
So, yeah,
absolutely.
I know they've built new stadiums there though. Apparently, that's what he was telling us.
Mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm, yeah.
yeah.
But
The
hopefully,
Bangkok Stadium. I don't know if you remember that one.
I do. I
The
remember it
Bangkok
very well.
Stadium. Yeah, it's in the Headful of Dreams documentary as well, where Chris is like sat in the stands right at the top, kind of thing as well.
Mm-hmm,
That was an incredible like location and show that they put on there. So yeah, hype
absolutely.
times for. Southeast Asian fans.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. I think no, that Bangkok is such an iconic stadium, and whenever I watch the documentary, I have a huge fear of heights. So whenever I watch that, it always like low key freaks me out that how like tall that stand is. But great venue, amazing fans, and Southeast Asia will obviously have an incredible support and incredible crowd there. Indonesia might be at Jakarta, and I expect multiple dates in all these locations. And we'll see how it goes. Obviously, we'll keep people updated. And if India happens, India happens. If it doesn't, then it'll happen one day. I'm sure it will.
I
I
hope
know
it.
that.
I hope it does. I hope
Yeah,
it does.
the Mumbai gig that they did with Global Citizen is still talked about till this day in India because of how much love they give back and how much people in India appreciated that. So I'm sure if they do, and they can do it in a sustainable and financially sensible way, then they'll definitely go back. So let's see.
I was
But
queuing with four Indian people on Sunday
oh,
who traveled over from Mumbai,
oh my
and
God.
they couldn't stop talking about the one show that they had and how incredible it was. And they come all the way to Wembley because they need to see it again, and they really hope that they're coming back next year, or at some point to Mumbai. They could even go to other places in India. It's a
Hmm.
huge country,
Yeah,
billion people. So there's New Delhi could be on the cards potentially as well. This is
yeah.
clowning times, by the way, but yeah,
100%.
here we are. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, we'll
So
we'll see. We'll keep you guys
it,
updated for sure. Uh, I will know 100%. I always keep my ear to the ground whenever there's shows happening there. And it's not like I will say back in 2017 it was still somewhat newer for big artists to go to India after a very long time. But now I know a lot of DJs go there. Like I can easily see like a Calvin Harris going performing there, for instance, and they have the facilities of doing that. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
and I
Uh,
guess like the cricket stadiums have now reached new renovation levels and stuff like that as well. Like they're incredible stadiums now as well. So
yeah.
the facilities are there for them to pull it off now,
Hmm.
even more so than it was in 2016.
Hmm. Absolutely. It's just the finances and the sustainability that will come into question. But that's a whole other discussion. But as you said, East Asia, it has extremely strict court protocols. Like I know people who are trying to go to Japan for like study abroad stuff or like job related things, and even they can't go right now. So
No.
forget like a band going there. But we know if they go, they'll again sell out stadiums easily. Especially in South Korea, I think a lot of South Koreans have taken a new level of appreciation after the collab with BTS. So that's going to be uh, very special gigs there as well. So whenever they happen, fingers crossed. Um, and Bethany, what about Australia, New Zealand? Those kind of got left behind in all of this. What's happening with that? What do you think?
Yeah, they did. Um, I'm not sure. I mean, I can definitely see there being multiple dates in each country. I think, the announcement's been a long time coming, but I think once it comes, people won't be disappointed. They'll definitely try to get in a good amount of shows in both places there.
Yeah, I agree. For the sake of our friend Vinny, I hope they do go and play live shows there. Um,
Yeah.
so let's see. Ian, should we move on to USA? What do you and Canada? What are we thinking for North America stuff?
All right. Well, I made a little list of ones I feel quite confident about, but could be very wrong about as well. So, but the first one is obviously Los Angeles. It was intended to be this year, but got postponed and then cancelled. So I think they had 2 nights planned there. I'd be shocked if they didn't do multiple nights in Los Angeles again in next year. I think the venue, they said they had production issues with the venue. So stuff like pyro and that. So Sophie Stadium itself might not be on the cards. They might have to go back to Rose Bowl. They might have to go to Dodgers Stadium. They might. We don't know. Um, they they're gonna have to work that out. I'm sure they already have though, and it's probably coming soon with the announcement.
Yeah.
Um, whenever that arrives. So yeah, we'll see. So we had Los Angeles, we had Boston, which is actually, I guess, in Foxborough, it's outside of Boston, Gillette Stadium. Um, Miami, we had down because they went there and had Head Full of Dreams tour, and it was a great show. And we needed one in the south. Las Vegas has a new stadium right across from the Las Vegas Strip. I think it'll hold about 55,000 people in a concert. So, that seems like an obvious one. I don't know if they love going to Vegas. I know there's that funny clip of Johnny having a gambling addiction, which is probably not true. But but they normally do get a Vegas show or two in there on the tours. It's a fun place to go to. I know it's got a bad rep and that, but if you put all what did Chris say? I'm trying to think of the words Chris used at Wembley. I've forgotten those. Basically said, put all your troubles aside and just enjoy it for what it is,
Yeah.
and you'll have a good time.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm trying to get to with Las Vegas. Yes, it's a crazy place with crazy things going on that shouldn't really be happening, but it is what it is, and it can be fun. Anyway, Seattle, they did obviously the kickoff show there. What was it called?
The Climate Pledge
Climate
Arena.
Pledge. Climate
Yes.
Pledge Arena. That was the one.
Hmm.
I don't think they'll be going back to that specific arena. I think they'll do the stadium there. I remember seeing some amazing photos from
Hmm.
that Seattle gig back in 2017, I think it was. Could have been 2016. I don't know which year, but
It
they
was
went there and it
2017. Yeah.
was 2017, yeah. They're definitely going to go hit up the Northwest uh, up there. So that'll probably happen. I was looking at Portland as well, but it's a bit close to Seattle, and with potentially, the Los Angeles, there's a lot happening then on that West Coast. And if the Humankind video said USA, it didn't say North America. But if it was North America and they did Canada as well, and they did Vancouver and Seattle, and it's just not.
Nah, it wouldn't work out.
It's just too close to one another. So um, let's see. I don't know if they. I don't know if it was a typo in the Humankind video or if they're really not going to Canada. I would love to see them go to Toronto
Yeah.
at least at the minimum because those shows were incredible. And I think that was 2017 as well.
Yeah. That had that
Um,
stadium with that huge tower in the
Yes,
background.
yes, the
Oh
CN
wow.
Tower right next to it,
Oh my
and
God.
they even controlled some of the lights on that tower, which was just incredible.
Absolutely.
Um, on Head Full of Dreams, if we to go off the standard as well, like they went back to locations, they went back to cities,
Hmm.
and should there be new music in the time from now to next summer, um, which I think is fair to assume if we're going to get 3 albums by 2025. Um, they'd probably return to places like New York, New Jersey. They'd probably go back to Chicago again. That's
Hmm.
what they did on Head Full of Dreams, even
Hmm.
though they only had something just like this and some EP songs they never played live. So, um, I can see them going back to those places as well. There's probably three or four more cities, and there's so many you could choose. You could say they're going to Denver. You could say they're going to New Orleans, Arlington,
Austin.
Boston. Well, no, we said Boston. We said Boston,
Austin.
Barcelona.
Austin, Texas.
Austin. Oh, sorry. Yes. Jimmy's City.
Jimmy
Yes.
City.
So yeah, I mean, there's so many cities you could potentially pick out. Salt Lake City.
Hmm.
Um, it- it's
Columbus.
hot.
Columbus, yeah.
Yeah,
Columbus, Ohio.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's so many you could pick out as potentials, but we just settled on I think those five as like okay, we're pretty certain they might hit up those cities for now.
Yeah.
Probably three or four more cities though.
Yeah. I think so. Probably 100%. I think they'll go back to New York, New Jersey, MetLife. They'll 100% go back to Chicago. I think. And let's see. Let's see where else they go. Bethany, what are you thinking? What shows would you like to go to in the U.S.?
Yeah, I mean, seeing as they'll probably like we said come back to, New York, New Jersey, I would definitely hit that. I'm hoping they'll come back to Philadelphia, but probably
Mm,
not. Probably not.
mm.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're going to hit Boston for sure next time around. So New York and Boston for me will be it, and maybe one other one if I can swing it.
Being one other one. Yeah, that I think that those are a solid list. I would personally recommend if you can go to Chicago, definitely go to Chicago as well. Cities, I actually cities. A lot of people love the city. I am not a fan, for lots of long reasons, and this stream will go on for hours if we get into it. But shows they're iconic, and that Soldier Field is truly sometimes feels like it's just made for Coldplay. Very very beautiful, and always has a little bit of rain. It didn't have this time. It had like a tiny drizzle for like 30 seconds, I think, and then it did not. But if they go back, if they come back to the US in, we're expecting August, September, um, probably September, I think, because they're still in. Uh, yeah, they'll only finish in July 18th, so maybe late August, early September is when they'll start doing shows in the US. That we might get, more rain in Chicago. Who knows? Um, but yeah, I think for me, I would obviously love to go to as many shows as possible. I was lucky enough to go to quite a few this time. Let's see what all we do. It is a shame that I don't think SoFi Stadium will happen because it looks incredible, but I think there's some real logistical hurdles that they face there, which is why we have the situation we do. Um, and I think they will definitely go back to Canada. They can definitely do Toronto. So
In the chat here, Charlie says for Miami, the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami was awesome for the weekend 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
Makes a
yeah,
great venue.
yeah, absolutely. And if nobody knows, the weekend is obviously doing a huge stadium tour in the US as well. Lots of shows sold out and great production. Nothing
Yeah,
but
he's
very.
got some wristbands.
He
Got
has got
some
some wristbands. I've heard some
and
iffy things about his
some
show though.
stage layouts that are looking quite familiar as well.
Do you want to give context for that one? I don't think
Well,
everyone can right
it looks
now.
like it looks like a Coldplay show basically,
Yeah, a little
but it's
bit.
the weekend's music. So
A little bit. I will say a lot of people. This is going off track. Will had, but a lot of people had complaints about that massive moon that he has at the end of his
yeah,
stages, and the section that sits right in front of it literally can't see anything because there's no big screen with his face on it. They have small screens with his face on it, but they actually can't see him till he comes right below that moon, which he doesn't do most of the time. So it's a weird layout. But
also, it blocks the view. Like if you're in those seats and you can't really see him anymore or anything. So this anyway.
anyway, one quick note in the
Back to
chat.
Coldplay.
Yeah, one quick note in the chat. We have someone here who said, "Hey folks, currently being blasted by Coldplay live at Hampton Park, Glasgow right now. This person's about a mile away from the stadium. And last night and tonight, it's like they're playing in my garden, given how loud it is. Viva la vida at the
Nice.
moment, hearing the sounds of the crowd, so amazing, atmospheric. Oh my God, that's amazing. Well, I'm glad you're having fun. But
And I'm glad you're tuning in to us as well. Thank you.
yeah, I know we really
Thank you
appreciate it.
spending your night with us as well.
Yeah. So that was mostly it. Bethany, any final thoughts? I would start with you, and then I'll ask you for final thoughts in chat if you have any final questions and thoughts, and then we'll wrap up from there. So Bethany, any final thoughts about all the discussions we've had about touring today?
Yeah, it's all very exciting. It's all kind of happening very fast now. It feels like just with, the current European leg wrapping up right now as we speak, and these new tour dates coming out. It's a lot at once. It's definitely building that excitement for the remainder of the tour as it goes on. Like we said, we don't know when the tour is going to end, how long it's going to go on exactly, but yeah, definitely lots of planning to be done and lots of good shows in the future.
Lots of good shows in the future. Ian, any final thoughts on what we discussed today?
Um, no, I think we did a good show, so I'm happy with
Happy. That's
good
good.
good team. But I think um for a lot of people, I know it can be hard when it's like, why is my city not here? Especially I've had so many people from Dublin or Ireland saying, why didn't we get a show? Or or French people saying, how come there's no French show? Or Germany as well. It's hard when it's not your turn. But the truth is, they got to go to so many places, and I think they're gonna keep touring for a long time. So don't stress too much, and maybe treat yourself to a nice little trip next year. I know times are hard, but yeah, I don't know. it's sometimes it's some of the most joyful time when the date's getting out. And sometimes it's one of the most stressful times because you got to work all this shit out, and
Yeah,
sometimes very quickly. Like for the people, our audience, let's say at least, you probably went to Wembley watching this. You probably were at Wembley last week, and then you spent a lot of money to go there. You paid for your hotel, maybe your train or your flights, your food whilst you were there. You bought some merch whilst you were there. You paid for your tickets. You did the whole thing, and then oh shit, you've already got to go pay for tickets again. It's a little bit hard on you, but don't worry about it. Even if you don't get a ticket this week, don't panic either, because there's always chances to get tickets.
yeah,
There'll be resales closer to the actual shows next year. There always is. So don't stress too much if you don't sort it all out this week. That's what I say.
absolutely.
And also, no, I should I won't say that. I was going
Okay.
to say if you book your accommodation, there are websites that provide free cancellation. All right, that's all I'll say.
God. Hey, no plugging here, okay? But no, I think I agree with everything you're saying. We had a quick question here asking which city would you like to see Coldplay play. We kind of covered that already, where they didn't come at all. For me, it would definitely just be newer cities that they've not been to before. So anytime they go to anywhere they've never been to before is city I want them to go to. Really, I want as many people to
Well,
experience
that's a
Coldplay.
great question. If you could pick a location to watch Coldplay, where would you watch them? We rephrase it.
Oh yeah, well, I would Glastonbury. I would watch
Okay,
them at
that's fine.
Glastonbury. Um,
Bethany?
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. I mean,
Okay.
just having never been to the UK, I think that would be absolutely amazing to see them at Glastonbury. So
Okay.
Ian.
I'd probably say somewhere like Buenos Aires. Um, I think for the Latin American experience, the crowd, all that kind of thing.
Hmm.
It's either that or somewhere like the Maldives or Mauritius. That could be nice. Yeah.
I don't know how sustainable it would be, but I agree it would be
Yeah.
amazing. Um, but I think this was fun, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in and participating. And we'll be back. We have a lot of things to cover. We will try and do recap shows for Wembley and Glasgow if we can fit it into our schedules. But obviously, in just 10-ish days, we have that amazing interview with Chris and Johnny coming up. So definitely subscribe and stay tuned for that. Keep a lookout on things. And I'm sure it's going to be really, really special. We'll make a really fun and special show out of that as well. And hopefully, you guys will enjoy that.
Yeah.
And obviously, we'll do Latin America preview. We'll have some, fun with that. And if there's new content coming, you know that we're going to talk about it. So stay tuned.
I
Um,
think just wanted to say uh, for the interview we might release a trailer soon.
ooh,
So
that's an
yeah,
exclusive. Even I've not heard that yet.
yeah, yeah.
So
But it's if we've got time to do it. Like the interview itself still needs a little bit of work. I think I mentioned that in the last stream as well. Just there's some aggressive camera cuts that are more aggressive than French TV, so nobody wants to see that. We just have to soften them out.
hmm.
But maybe we'll put a trailer out there
Yeah,
soon, so you can kind of get a tease for it. No, we also got some nice behind the scenes content as well to share. So
I think
um,
you guys will be very, very
yeah,
happy.
yes,
Um, but with that,
it's a great interview.
it's fun. With that, we're gonna wrap it up here. Thank you everyone for joining us, and we'll see you. We'll see you again soon. Thank you, Bethany. Thank you, Ian. See you guys next time. Take care. Bye bye.
bye.